Yeah, in the beginning, what do you understand from the video?
I thought that the video was about how children are sort of impacted by social media and how it like isolates them because they're so sort of absorbed in what's going on online and trying to sort of create a personality for themselves and exaggerate everything that they sort of lose sense of what's real and they lose sort of connections with real people. So I think the main thing was just about them being isolated from people around them.
Okay, so how do you feel about that? Is that right or wrong?
I think it was quite a sad video because I think that is the world that children are growing up in today, that they are so absorbed by what's on their phones and by social media and being fake online that they don't really have a sense of reality. They don't really know how to connect with people in the same way that perhaps older people did when they were younger. I think it is sort of quite a sad reality that they're facing.
Okay, so you have already answered what emotions, right? Sad. Okay. So
I can expand on that a bit if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What emotions do you saw in the video?
I think the children in the video look quite lonely. I think the whole thing was about loneliness and the fact that they haven't really got anyone to connect with. But they also, I think, looking at the video as well, like looking at their facial expressions, they looked quite lost and almost like they'd been abandoned. I think that real sense of like emptiness and loneliness was kind of the main emotions of that.
Okay, so do you saw any hidden symbols or like any sign of languages in the video?
What do you mean, sorry?
Sorry, because for my interview, I saw piece of cake, and the children, only children. So it's a piece of AI detected. So have you saw anything like that, or just a random video?
So I saw like things in the video as well, like the fact that it was about birthdays. I think was quite significant. So we had like, obviously towards the end, like the candles being blown out on the cake, it was sort of like that little bit of light that they had gone, and then with the balloons popping at the end, I thought it was quite dramatic because the room was left empty. There was nothing joyful in it anymore.
It signifies it's our life, like a popping of light.
Yeah, sort of represented how they were left on their own with nothing joyful because of what social media was doing to them.
Yeah, exactly. So is that video related to your life, or can you relate to your life or not?
Yeah, I think social media does have that effect on people, and I find it does make me feel lonely sometimes. That even though through social media the point is to connect with other people, I find actually it disconnects me from them quite a bit because you start to think, well, because people have got their phone all the time, it's like, well, why aren't they messaging me when they can do that? Why aren't people getting in touch with me? Why aren't they responding to me? And it actually, I think, makes you fall out with people sometimes because you're expecting and putting pressure on that relationship to work out that actually they're not always available, they're not always going to be there for you, and that's not actually a problem.
So, impact of social media in mental health. Okay, so what is your opinion about that? Is that true or false in your opinion?
So I think that social media has a really big impact on mental health because we spend so much time on it and we're constantly looking at what other people are doing and comparing our lives to other people. I think people tend to attach a lot of their self-worth to what they see on social media. So, for example, if I was to post something and it only got 2 likes on it, whereas my friend posted something and got 100 likes, I'll be thinking, well, what have they got that I haven't got? Why are they better than me? Why do people like them more than me? And I think it just makes you question yourself far too much. I think it can really impact sort of your confidence as well.
Okay, so are you a social media person? Do you like social media?
I use it quite a lot. I do post on it.
So, what is your favorite social media platform?
I probably use Instagram the most.
Instagram.
So I really like being able to share photos on there and see other people's photos as well. And I like that it sort of almost builds up like a little photo album for me so I can look back on my own photos like as memories as well.
Okay, so is that Instagram helpful to you in any ways?
I think it's sort of helpful in terms of keeping in touch with people. So like people who I used to work with or who I used to go to university with, I can still keep in contact with them and keep up to date with what they're doing. But like I said, it's also a helpful way for me to sort of document things that I'm doing and keep like a little record for myself to look back on.
Okay, so Instagram is your helpful platform, right?
Yeah.
Among social media.
Yeah, I think it's the one I use most to sort of keep in touch with other people.
Okay. So in your opinion, what is the best and worst social media apps?
So like I say, I think Instagram's probably one of the best ones in terms of being able to share your photos, keep in touch with other people, but also explore other content as well. There's lots of different types of content you can see on there. I would say the worst for me is probably TikTok. I really don't like it. Just because
TikTok.
Yeah, I had TikTok. I deleted it because I find the algorithm on it is too strong. I don't like the way that it knows what I like so well, and it can throw up things that are really relevant to me.
Like
So
scrolling and
yeah,
scrolling.
you sort of get stuck on it.
So
It's a bit addictive. But I find as well with the videos that people post on TikTok, because there's so many like trends that come up, everyone feels they have to participate in every trend.
Yeah.
So what you end up getting is a whole group of people who are trying to make themselves exactly the same. They're all trying to fit in and be the same person. So I feel like there's a real loss of identity on TikTok, and it scares me a little bit that so many little kids are on it.
One person who,
Yeah.
we keep scrolling, we see tons of videos like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I find as well with how addictive TikTok is, there's quite a lot of young children that are on that app. So I think it really damages their attention span and their concentration because they're just stuck scrolling through these like 10-second videos. And then they go to somewhere like school and they have to concentrate for 5 or 6 hours and they physically can't do it. And then you get a whole lot of bad behaviour from it because they're addicted to TikTok. I think it's really damaging. So I'd say that's the worst.
So, what content do you enjoy the most online and why?
I quite enjoy looking at like travel content online. So when people have posted like holidays they've been on or places they've travelled to, because that's something I want to do in the future. So it's kind of nice to see like recommendations of places to go and sort of build up like places I might want to go and look around. But then just sort of like funny, relatable videos as well. Like me and my sister are always like sending each other videos. So yeah, I spend quite a few hours scrolling through that.
So what is your opinion on posting and sharing pictures in social media?
I really like posting and sharing pictures. I think it's a nice way to sort of update people on what you're doing and sort of see what's going on in other people's lives. But I do think it can be quite dangerous as well when we've got things like selfie filters and editing that you never really know what's real. You never know what's photoshopped, what's genuine. Like I saw a video the other day of this girl going, oh, people think that this is what my skin looks like, but if I just take this filter off, and as she was like filming, she took the filter off her face, which like, if I turn this light off that's pointed at me, and her face looked completely different, she's like, this is what my skin looks like in real life, like don't compare yourself to my videos. And I said, well, your videos looked real before, so you never really know like what it is that you're seeing, so I think that's quite scary.
Yeah, interesting answer. Yeah, have you ever deleted any of your public accounts? If so, why did you delete them?
So I deleted TikTok because I was addicted to it, and I found like I couldn't concentrate on anything properly. If I had my phone near me, I had to be on TikTok. It was like my hand was reaching out for it before I'd even thought about it. And when I was trying to get on with work, I couldn't get anything done because I was so obsessed with TikTok, so I just deleted it.
Okay, so how you feel like Instagram Reels addictive to you? Like, it's also with the scrolling thing,
Yeah,
right?
I think I do spend quite a lot of time on Instagram, but I don't feel it's as addictive. I think because the TikTok algorithm is a lot stronger in terms of recommending videos to you, that you get sucked into things a little bit easier. With Instagram, I'll scroll through a few that are like relatable to me, and then I'll be like, well, this isn't relevant anymore, this is a bit boring, this isn't what I want to be watching, so I can turn it off quicker. But I think, yeah, TikTok's a bit more relevant, so...
Yeah, have you faced any situation of cyberbullying or negativity in social media?
I wouldn't say I've faced any cyberbullying, I don't think, but I do find it can be quite a negative place. So you regularly see people making nasty comments about people, or if there's a news story that's been posted or something about a celebrity, people just have to be horrible in the comments all the time. It's like they get a kick out of doing it. So I find
fake accounts, just commenting.
Yeah, I find when you're online, you're constantly surrounded by a lot of hate, and it's not even genuine a lot of the time. They just do it to get a reaction. People out there looking for a fight, looking to upset someone. So I think you do really have to be careful around avoiding that negativity. So I'll restrict like the accounts that I follow so that I know I'm only getting sort of positive things on there. Or I found like I followed a lot of people who I used to go to school with because I knew them and not necessarily because I liked them. So a while ago I was like, I'm just going to clear all of them out. Why am I still following them when that's not content that's making me happy? So I think, yeah, you've just got to make sure you try and shut it out as much as you can.
Okay, so if you are in the position of get cyberbullying, how did you handle the situation?
I think if I was facing cyberbullying, I would probably just block the people that are sending me messages. So if I could block those accounts that they couldn't interact with me, keep all of my accounts private, that could sort of shut that out. But if that didn't stop, I would probably just delete the accounts so that they couldn't access me.
So can you tell me any one example of any situation that social media means really helpful to you in one situation? Any particular example?
I suppose it's particularly helpful, like in terms of if we think about like the group work we've been doing for uni, that we can do group work from home and interact with each other and share things online, so that we can work on a project without physically all having to meet up at the same time. I think that's really helpful. And yeah, I also find it really helpful in terms of keeping in touch with people. So like, there's lots of people who, like, I used to go to university with who now live all across the country, so I can't see them all the time, but I can still keep in touch with them. I can still have those friendships, even though they're not close by. So I think it's really helpful for that as well.
Okay, so it's my personal question. So can I ask you that? So like, if you find one day, one morning, every social media of your account get completely deleted, so how will you handle the situation? So how do you feel in that situation?
That's made me feel quite anxious already, just you saying that. I think I'd feel quite panicked if suddenly all of my accounts were just gone, because I would think, well, who is it that's like shut them down? Who's got my data that's on there? Because I think I've got quite a lot of sort of private messages on there, records of conversations with people. I've got all of my like connections with people on there, all of my photos, and to think that all of that would just be gone is quite scary, because you know I do store quite a lot in my social media accounts, which thinking about it I probably shouldn't. But yeah, I think to sort of lose all of those photos and things like that would be quite sad.
Okay. Yeah, I think we have covered almost
Yeah, I
everything.
think that's great.